Kempire is brought to you by Kempire After Dark in London was a massive success, but the Kempire After Dark live experience is not over. We're coming back to Washington, D.C. Inauguration Week. I know, it's fine. We will be the light at the end of the tunnel. Come for some hot topics, some Real Housewives conversation, and some shady talk. You'd be surprised what happens or what tea spills at the Kempire After Dark live experience. And as always, if you're listening to the podcast version, you should always give us a 5-star rating. Rating our podcast is important. It leads to more and more people to join our amazing, growing community. Rate the Kempire Podcast today 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Thank you in advance and happy holidays. You're listening to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network. Hello. Live here from London, United Kingdom, right after the Kempire After Dark live experience. But as you know, I'm very dedicated to the field, and we did talk about the Diddler, but I won't say anything more that came out from the Kempire After Dark live experience here in London. But all I will say, you missed a lot if you didn't come and you were in town. Sorry, but shout out to those of you that did come. As I was going to get something to eat, yes, it's very late here. It's 1 a.m. here in London. I saw the news that Jay-Z has been named in one of those Tony Busby lawsuits. So I'm just going to give you a little history so the notification squad can be notified. But you know, Tony Busby did a press conference several weeks ago, maybe a couple of months ago at this particular point, claiming that he had 120 victims and that he was going to file separate lawsuits from all of them. He also mentioned that several high-profile celebrities will also be named. He also said that there will be companies that would be named. You also may recall Tony Busby has recently been sued by one of these high-profile celebrities that we did not know who this person was. It makes me wonder if Jay-Z was this person. But ever since Diddy was arrested back in September, a lot of people have said, what about Jay-Z? You remember, even, oh my goodness, Jaguar Wright said, what about Jay-Z and Beyonce? That, you know what she said? They're a nasty little couple that does nasty things. Only for Piers Morgan to receive a legal letter demanding that they retract anything that Jaguar said on the platform. So as the breaking news happened today, literally maybe like an hour ago, where Jay-Z's name was officially this lawsuit was refiled with Jay-Z's name added. You remember in the original recent lawsuit that Tony Busby was facing from a high-profile celebrity, they claim that he has a history of doing this. He has a history of using threats, extortion in order to have these celebrities pay settlements. But Jay-Z's responding. But before we get to that, this original lawsuit was filed back in October. It was refiled, I believe, on Sunday. Now it's Monday morning here in London, but this literally just came out because it was refiled and Jay-Z's name was added. So NBC News writes this. They said Jay-Z, the star rapper and entrepreneur whose real name is Sean Carter, was accused in a lawsuit Sunday of R-ing a 13-year-old girl in 2000, allegedly along with Sean Diddy Combs. A lot of people have continued to connect Jay-Z to Sean Diddy Combs because they've had a close friendship over the years. Okay. The anonymous accuser, identified only as Jane Doe, said that the assault happened after she was driven to an MTV Video Music Awards after party. The federal lawsuit was originally filed in October in the Southern District of New York, listing Combs as a defendant. It was refiled Sunday to include Carter. So I went back to the original story that NBC News did in October, and just reminding us, it was written by the same journalist, reminding us of what was said back then. So this was filed this report was done on October 21st. They said Sean Diddy Combs is facing a wave of new SAR accusations. NBC News has obtained 5 new civil lawsuits filed Sunday in the Southern District of New York by Texas-based attorney Tony Busby. The suit does not name any plaintiffs. Okay? The 5 suits included allegations that Combs SA'd or R'd the plaintiffs in separate incidents from 2000 to 2022. 2 of the plaintiffs are men and 3 are women, including a woman who alleged that Combs R'd her when she was 13 years old, according to the suits. Combs is also accused of drugging one of the men and 3 women, according to the suits. Buzbee told NBC News he plans to file a total of 7 suits Sunday night. This was back in October. In a statement, Buzbee says, "We will let the allegations in the field complaints speak for themselves and will work to see that justice is done. We expect to be filing cases weekly, naming Mr. Combs and others as defendants as we continue to gather evidence and prepare the filings." I have to remind you, because, we've been covering the Diddler stories for months now. Over a year at this particular point, ever since Cassie. Tony Busby says that there have already been multiple high-profile celebrities that have settled with him. And I know a lot of you have said, why are these people settling? Why are these people not going to jail? Why are we settling with people that have caused harm to people, but also to children? Combs' team did not immediately respond at the time for a request for comment from NBC News. As you know, Buzbee filed 6 other suits against Combs last Monday. This was back in October. Since then, he's filed multiple lawsuits. And this particular lawsuit where Jay-Z is named was refiled today. So, Texas-based attorney Tony Busby, who filed the lawsuit, did not comment at the time of this report. But Jay-Z almost immediately released the statement through his Instagram platform, Rock Nation. Okay? So let me read to you what he says in the statement. So this is what Jay-Z says in the statement. And if you have questions, guys, please feel free to share your questions. Just put a Q and colon behind it so I can see your questions once I'm done reporting this. So Jay-Z, I did not expect Jay-Z to respond so quickly and swiftly, but obviously, based off the statement that I'm about to read to you from him, he knew that this was coming. Who knows how long he's been in talks with Tony Busby. Well, he's issued this statement, and it's fairly long, but we'll get through it together, okay? I'm live from London. It's 1:13 a.m. Dedicated, okay? Dedicated. All right? So Jay-Z says this in a statement. "My lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter from a, quote, lawyer." He put in quotes, y'all. Lord have mercy, Jay-Z. "Called a lawyer named Tony Busby. What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations and the public scrutiny would make me want to settle. No, sir. It had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are in a very," capital, he put, "very public fashion. So no, I will not give you," in capitals, "one red penny." He says, "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint and not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? These," I bet you Beyonce wrote this. You know she's a Virgo. He says, "These alleged victims would deserve real justice if that were the case. This lawyer, who I have done a bit of research on, seems to have a pattern of these types of theatrics." He says, "I have no idea how you could come to be such a deplorable human, Mr. Busby." That was a read. "But I promise you, I have seen your kind many times over." Do tell Jay-Z, we want to know. Look, he says, "I'm more than prepared to deal with your type. You claim to be a Marine? Marines are known for their valor. You have neither honor nor dignity." I'm sorry, y'all. Look, oh, come on. They're a nasty little couple that does nasty things. That's what Jaguar said. Okay? So Jay-Z continues and he says, "My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife, Beyonce, and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people." He says, "I mourn yet another loss of innocence. Children should not have to endure such at their young age. It is unfair to have to try to understand inexplicable degrees of malice meant to destroy families and human spirit. My heart and support goes out to true victims in the world who have to watch how their life story is dressed in costume for profitability by this ambulance chaser in a cheap suit." Well, damn. This was a read, y'all. Come on. Can we admit that this was a read? No matter how you feel about the nasty little couple that does nasty things, You have to admit that this was a read. He's not done though. He read him for filth. When we talk about reading someone for filth, this is what Jay-Z's doing. This is why I believe a Virgo wrote this and not Jay-Z. So Jay-Z's not done with Tony Busby. If you're just joining us, Tony Busby refiled this lawsuit that was filed back in October, and now he refiled it and is naming Jay-Z as someone that what did exactly what Diddy has been accused of doing, and said that they did it together to this 13-year-old girl. So Jay-Z's not done in his statement, his public statement. Okay? He says, "You made a terrible error in judgment, thinking that all, quote, celebrities are the same. I'm not from your world. I'm a young man who made it out of the projects of Brooklyn. We don't play these types of games. We have very strict codes and honor. We protect children. You seem to exploit people for personal gain. Only your network of conspiracy theorists, fake physics, and will believe the idiotic claims you have levied against me that, if not for the seriousness surrounding harm to kids, would be laughable." He says, "I look forward to showing you just how different I am." Y'all, I'm sorry. Like, I've never seen it for Jay-Z like that before, but if I was a woman, I would get moist. Come on. That was a read. Okay, I'm high off of the Kempire After Dark experience, so if I say too much, I apologize. Y'all not used to me talking this way. But come on. Come on. That was a read of all reads. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? No, I'm not wrong. Oh, but here's the thing. The only reason why I feel like Tony Busby is an ambulance chaser, he's not very credible, because he set up a whole 1-800 number for people to call. He said he got thousands of calls. He then did the press conference and said he had 120 victims, Diddy victims, and then said 20 or 25 of those victims were minors. He filed this lawsuit back in October, and at the time didn't mention Jay-Z. Mention Jay-Z. And this was one of the lawsuits where they said another female celebrity was present at the time of this incident. Look, I've said this before. I've said this during the Kempire After Dark live shows that I've had. If you've come, I said at this particular point, anyone will believe anything that you say about Diddy. Do I think that there is a lot that is true about Diddy? Yes. Do I think that there are attorneys and other people that are just trying to look for a quick payday? Yes. And by naming Jay-Z, Tony Busby probably realizes that at this particular point, he will spend months and months and months, maybe even years, trying to get money from Diddy. But Diddy's in the middle of fighting this federal case that goes to trial on May 5th of next year. He knows that if he gets to other celebrities, and I'm sure he has already said that there have been some celebrities that have already settled. But I'm sure in his mind, he could get other celebrities, namely a Jay-Z, because a lot of you already believe that Jay-Z has some sort of involvement. A lot of you are waiting for Jay-Z and the news on Jay-Z to drop. But Jay-Z has a message for you guys too. He was talking about the people that believe this stuff. He says at the end of this letter, this open letter, he says, only your network of conspiracy theorists. That was a read, y'all. Because there's been a lot of conspiracy theorists. The nasty little couple that does nasty things. Only your network of conspiracy theorists, fake physics, will believe the idiotic claims you have levied against me. If not for the seriousness surrounding harm to kids, would be laughable. But we have to remember, I think this letter, this open letter, was ready to come out because who knows how long Jay-Z and Tony Busby have been communicating. I already told you, another high-profile celebrity is suing Tony Busby. I don't know if it's Jay-Z. I don't think so. But a lot of you thought maybe it was Kevin Hart. I don't know if it's Kevin Hart, but that person has not come public with their name. I'm not sure if a judge will make them go public. So someone says, what are fake physics? I think he meant psychics or something like that. I think that's what he meant. Remember, they put this out. There were a couple of errors in this statement that I had to correct as I read it. But this was a read. I felt like this was a read. I feel like this is what a lot of of fans and people that have been watching these stories wanted to hear from the celebrities that have been, associated with Diddy for a long time. And look, I feel like he covered so much in this letter. He covered Tony Busby's history of being a quote, he put in quotes, lawyer, and some of his behavior and extortive alleged behavior from other celebrities. He also addresses how, as a parent and a family man, how his wife, he didn't say Beyonce, he said my wife. He also said that he has a daughter, Blue Ivy, who's old enough and is around other kids that are old enough to see these allegations and how it's going to affect them. He also puts a little bit of a threat in here, y'all. Don't forget, he put a little bit of a threat. Okay, but first he has to remind you, he's like, the code of conduct for the guys from the streets, and you guys let me know, because I'm not a guy from the streets, but I always thought that was the thing too. Even when you go to prison, if you were one of those people that harmed children, you were frowned upon. You'd be lucky. You wouldn't be safe in prison. So he even brings that up. He's like, I'm a guy from the projects. Our code of conduct is not that. We don't get down like that. Okay. But then he says, you're not going to get away with this. Okay? He says, you have made a terrible error in judgment, thinking that, quote, all celebrities are the same. I'm not from your world. I'm a young man who made it out of the projects of Brooklyn. We don't play these types of games. We have a very strict codes. We have very strict codes and honor. We protect children. You seem to exploit people for personal gain. Only your network, again, look, the read. He said, only your network of conspiracy theorists, and I think he means fake psychics, but it came out physics? Fine. Will believe the idiotic claims you have levied against me. It's not for the if not for the seriousness of surrounding harm to kids, would be laughable. He says, I look forward to showing you just how different I am. Look, we already knew Jay-Z wasn't playing. We already knew Jay-Z wasn't playing. Immediately, I think that was a warning shot. And literally, Jay-Z's attorney, when they did the interview with TMZ talking about Piers Morgan, having Jaguar Wright on there, his attorney said, no, this wasn't a cease and desist. This was a warning to Piers Morgan. And a lot of you said, why don't they sue Jaguar Wright? We've gone through that, but I will go through it again. Why haven't they sued Jaguar Wright? Because it's not worth it for them. Them suing Jaguar Wright brings attention to her statements. Not saying that they're true or not true. It brings attention to their statements. And again, they could be true. It's not going to shut her up. She doesn't have anything that they can gain. You've seen this before. You've seen where bloggers have been sued and they continue to talk about things. But Jaguar Wright, does she have anything for them to get? It's not worth it for them. If Beyonce and Jay-Z sue Jaguar Wright, it's going to bring attention to Jaguar, because there are a sector of people that want to believe that Jay-Z and Beyonce are the devil. They're a nasty little couple that does nasty things. There are a sector of people that want to believe it. But here on our channel, look, we're not saying Jay-Z's innocent. We're not saying that Beyonce's innocent. We're not saying that, Jaguar is not telling the truth. But we are here to tell you, well, this is what's being said. And now we have Jay-Z's response. And Jay-Z really, when you look at the statement's available on Roc Nation's Instagram. Like he's being shady throughout the statement. At the very top, he refers to Tony Busby as a lawyer in quotes. All right. He says, and then he says, like, this is not like a professional statement. He's like, no, sir. It had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are in a very, in caps, public fashion. So no, I will not give you, in capitals, one red penny. All right? And look, how would you respond if someone accused you of harming a 13-year-old girl and you know that you didn't do it? Or, here I go twerking on a fence, there might be some truth to it, but you don't say anything? Because, in this world, if you don't say anything, people automatically might think that you're guilty. And Jay-Z and Beyonce don't normally respond at all. That's why everyone was shocked when Beyonce and Jay-Z issued that statement to Piers Morgan. But we told you why they did that. They did that because Piers Morgan is connected to Fox News. Rupert Murdoch. There's billions of dollars connected there, and they own 50% of Pierce Morgan's platform. So Pierce, immediately when he got that letter, went on his platform and apologized and denounced what Jaguar Wright said on his platform. All right. So part of me is surprised that Jay-Z responded so quickly, but part of me is not, because of how heinous, as he said, these allegations are. And again, this is another high-profile celebrity accusing Tony Busby of extortion, basically. And I wonder how long I'm assuming Tony Busby has been negotiating this with Jay-Z since October. And when I say negotiating, probably, again, Jay-Z said that they sent a demand letter. A demand letter. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's easy and it's free. It supports our channel. And don't forget to subscribe because, as you know, if you've been following the channel, they've been suppressing our stories and updates on on Sean Diddy Combs. So be sure to check out some of the updates. We did talk about Diddy again this past week in another update. Let me see what you guys are saying in the live chat, because it is quite late here in London. I just had the Kempire After Dark live experience here in London, and we did talk about the Didla. We did. So let me see what you guys are saying in the live chat. Again, guys, we have like almost 3,000 of you here. Be sure to like the video. It's easy and it's free. Okay. Najima says, hold on, Najima, let me see if I can make this bigger because I am not in my studio. Okay, Najima says, he is a man with a lot to lose and billionaire and the superstar wife. Listen, there's stuff they know before we do, and we find out late. There is a reason Rock Nation brunch got canceled recently, last year. Remember, during the Grammys weekend? Well, no, earlier this year. You're right. And we all said, why did Jay-Z cancel the Rock Nation brunch? And I've said to you, so a lot of you have asked me, do I believe that Jay-Z was involved in the freak offs? I told you, I don't think he was involved, but these things happen in the world, and in this world, in this celebrity world. I'm sure they've heard stories, and how true they may be or how much they knew, who knows? Who knows? All right, let me just see, because I did tell you guys if you had a question, let me just make sure. Okay. Angelique says, wait, so did they reissue the initial lawsuit? Yes, Angelique, they did. This was a refiled lawsuit. It was refiled today. That's why this is breaking news. Did anyone else see the TikTok video of Jay-Z outside the hotel room? No, I didn't see that. I did not see that. Queen of the Burb says, Kempire, are you aware of his alleged relationships with Tiara Marie and Foxy Brown in the past when they were under 18? Those have been allegations. I believe even Foxy recently came out and in support of Jay-Z, saying that those rumors are not true. That was recent where Foxy Brown said that. Guys, if you're just joining us, we're just giving you this breaking news that this lawsuit that was filed back in October against Sean Diddy Combs, accusing him of harming a 13-year-old girl, now it has been refiled, and now they're saying that the other celebrity that was involved was Jay-Z, and apparently there was a female celebrity that watched it go down. It makes me believe that Tony Busby has already reached out to that female celebrity that they're accusing of this and is trying to negotiate something as well. It's very clear. Jay-Z has said that in his own statements. Jay-Z did not waste any time and released his own statement saying that Tony Busby basically was trying to extort him, and he's not going to play those games. It will be interesting to see what Jay-Z's move will be next. I'm thinking legally. I don't think he was threatening harm, physical harm, but I think I wouldn't be surprised if Tony Busby will be getting a lawsuit. Oh, hold on. I'm seeing some of your comments. LA says, reread. He did not say he did not do it. Look, Demi says, hey, Kempire, just came back from your live show in London. It was amazing. Thank you, Demi, for coming. Thank you for coming. Okay. Let me see. Judy says he paid her. What else is she going to do? All very possible. All very possible. Miss Dominique says, I just don't believe Jay-Z would do that. I'm glad he responded, and based on how he raps, I'm not surprised he penned that statement. Jay been crafty with his words. But I imagine that Jay-Z and Beyonce are, even if he's coming up with that statement himself, her being the Virgo, she's proofreading it. And she's like, no, add this. Look, let me look at the statement. I'll tell you what the parts that I think that Beyonce added, lawyer in quotes, lawyer in quotes. And she was like, don't forget to mention the children and how the children are affected. Very much like you and I, if we have a partner and we're about to send like a text back or a snarky remark to someone, you're helping each other, right? I assume it's someone that's single, but all right. But here's what you all have been saying since Tony Busby has been making these accusations against celebrities. And you've been hearing that these celebrities have been settling. And when you read these accusations, you're like, why are we okay with these celebrities settling if they've committed crimes? So Jay-Z says in his statement, these alleged victims would deserve real justice. Wait, let me rewind. These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? These alleged victims would deserve real justice if that were the case. This lawyer, who I have done a bit of research on, seems to have a pattern of these types of theatrics. And he does. Tony Busby does have a history. You remember when we first reported on Tony Busby, I said, why does that name sound so familiar? He's been attached to some other high-profile cases where he is, pursuing some celebrities to settle and things like that. Okay? Exactly. TJ says, I agree. They should file criminal charges instead of a civil if it's that heinous. Well, can I play devil's advocate? Depending on where this is happening, I'm not sure if the statute of limitations would not affect that. We're talking, this person was 13 at the time, and they're saying, I forgot the date on this particular situation. So, exactly. Tamara says he knows the statute of limitations is 20 years. I know in certain states like New York, where this lawsuit was filed, they have that new law where you're able to, still file. But I think it has to be civil. It has to be civil. So all of that. Tamara says in New York, it's 20 years. Najima says, the statute of limitations has passed. Reese says, Diddy said that he wasn't paying too. And I saw recently that there was an article that came out in regards to Diddy and why all of this hellfire has come after Diddy was because he didn't settle the lawsuit with Cassie. We all knew that, though. I thought we all knew that, but I saw that was a new headline while I've been here in London. I thought we all knew the reason why Cassie filed the lawsuit was because she had been in negotiation. That came from Diddy's attorneys, that she had said that she was going to put out this information or file a lawsuit against Diddy if he did not settle with her. You saw after Cassie put out that lawsuit, and we all read it, had a trigger warning, 35 pages. I'm still triggered by that. It was so descriptive, and some people still fault Cassie for filing that lawsuit and taking money. There is no money in the world that's going to cure the trauma that Cassie has gone through or any of the victims have gone through. Okay? So you also saw that we did a separate video. For those that may have missed it, mods, if we can, post the video that I posted this week in regards to Anna Kane. So Anna Kane was the woman that we saw the photos of her in the studio with Diddy back in the day. She was 17 years old when she accused Harv Pierre, Sean Diddy Combs, and one other person that's not named of harming her, flying her across the country from Michigan to Diddy's studio. And she says they did heinous things to her, only for her being forced by Diddy's team, because they had said at the time when that lawsuit came out that she was a public-facing person. And we were like, who is this? A lot of people were guessing, only for us to come out to find out that she was married to Evander Kane, a cute, sorry, I had to, NHL player. I'm not familiar. I don't watch hockey. I was a little shocked at black men in hockey, but whatever. That's a whole other story. Okay. And one of the things that you guys said in that video that I forgot to mention when covering the story, because I gave you some of the history between Evander Kane and Anna Kane and their messy divorce and separation, and he has full custody of their child. And a lot of you brought up the valid point. Well, maybe the trauma she went through with Sean Diddy Combs and Harv Pierre has made her into the trauma that she's gone through has caused her to be involved in what she got involved with when it came to her relationship with Evander. Very possible. Very possible. Okay. Kat says, these abusers stay having protection, shaking my head. Zoe, hey Zoe. Zoe says, I don't believe Jay-Z. How old was Foxy Brown and Beyonce? Those have been the accusations as well. Those have been the accusations. Foxy has posted the link to the last story. Again, I've told you guys some of the stories that I've reported on in regards to Diddy recently have been suppressed. So please come to our page. If you aren't subscribed and your notifications aren't on, please do so today. Danny says, I really thought the 17-year-old was a person of color. Me too. In regards to Anna Kane being revealed, I did not realize she was a white girl at the time based off the photos, but they blurred out her face. We couldn't really see anything. We just saw the skin tone, but could have been just a tan. Tina says Beyonce was 19 in 2001. Look, we know there's a huge age gap between Jay-Z and Beyonce. Okay. Now, hey, Nasser. Nasser says, I want the victims to get justice and money. Victims have long-term effects from their trauma, which requires therapy, all kinds of different types of therapies. We have to think about that. If you read Cassie's lawsuit, she talked about addiction based off of her relationship with Diddy. She also talked about between like the abuse and like the trauma, like physical trauma that she experienced that she has to get treatment for. And God only knows how much that's going to cost. We also have to remember when Cassie filed her lawsuit, she didn't just sue Diddy. She sued his companies because remember, she was she was an employee of Diddy. As an employee of Diddy, she's saying he kept me on the shelf for 10 years. So she also was recouping what she could have made as an artist. Sidebar. She has a point, but I say all that to say, okay, exactly. Hey, Hetty, I met Hetty tonight. Hetty says, "Yep," and the trauma affects generations to come. That's the other thing, because the abuse that you experience, very much like we were talking about Anna Kane, the 17-year-old that accused at the time she was 17-year-old accused Diddy and Harv Pierre of abusing her. A lot of you said that could have affected her relationships with Evander Kane and why she had the relationships that she had with her own children. Very possible. Oh, yes, I've heard of this. Hey, Mama Ali. She says EMDR is the best treatment for SA and R, but it's expensive. Think about that. And if you want to get quality care, Hamilton says, yes, Jay-Z and Aaliyah, that was tragic. She was so talented. And okay. I'm sorry, Miss Cabby. Sometimes I can't help but be honest. Okay? I can't help but be honest. Guys, if you haven't already, we have nearly 3,000 of you. I appreciate you being here. It is literally 1:40 a.m. in London. We had our Kempire After Dark live experience, which was fantastic. I love meeting you guys. I just love the fact that we talked about the Diddler and we talked about Housewives. We talked about a bunch of stuff. It was a great experience. But for me, most importantly, it was great meeting everyone. No one dropped any tea like in LA in regards to Diddler, but we got a lot of tea in LA. Oof, I mentioned some of that tea in London. Hey, Mr. Melon Magic. Mr. Melon Magic says, I feel like Jay-Z was probably sleeping with underage girls when he was in his early 20s. Unfortunately, it was normalized back then. That is true. That is very, very true. DB says Solange tired to beat up Jay-Z, so again, that man ain't innocent. We never got to the bottom of what that really was. Everyone assumed that whatever that was between Solange and Jay-Z was over Jay-Z cheating on Beyonce, but we never confirmed what exactly that was. Ooh. Ange says Jay-Z wasn't at the VMAs in 2000. They said it was a VMA after party. Unless he wasn't in the city at the time. That's a good alibi. But Jay-Z's not going down without a fight. I don't know what Jay-Z's going to do. I'm assuming what he says in his statement is he's going to take legal action. I mean, he's not from the streets anymore. He doesn't run in those crowds. But basically what I see that he's saying here is basically he's going to take his own legal action against Tony Busby. So can we just read through some of the comments that are under Jay-Z's statement? So just a busy mom on Instagram posted, okay with the quick edit, rewrite, and repost. Oh, they reposted it? So they deleted and reposted it? Someone else said, did AI write that? Brandy Bradley on in the comments says, Hove don't play with no him. Okay. And another person's Just Chris says, please mean every word, Jay. Please be different. Another person, Vina Bangs, says Hove, standing on business, the blasphemy attempted to be spread is irreparable to one's reputation, even when the truth comes out. Going to your museum really changed my life, how I see the world. Won't be no Hove Sean Carter slander. This man moved mountains for the community. Don't forget the other side tactics. Okay. So there's a lot of support for Jay-Z, but again, this is a Rock Nation, account. So I'm not surprised, but I have to say the read was reading. I did not expect Jay-Z to come out so quickly. Okay. Let me see what you guys are saying in here. Miss Sharon says Jay-Z grew up. Diddy didn't. I mean, that's similar to what Jaguar Wright has said about Jay-Z. They just said that Jay-Z was smarter about how he moved, unlike Diddy. For those that have been wondering, Diddy will not be coming out of prison anytime soon. He's been fighting to come out of prison. As you know, his third bail attempt was denied. The new judge over his case says that based on what's been laid out in front of him, Diddy is still a danger. It's still a danger to society, and they do believe that he will reach out to victims and try to manipulate them. So he's still locked up at the Brooklyn Detention Center, Metropolitan Detention Center. Oh, DB says, I remember the 90s. He and Damon Dash are trash. Okay. T says, B better drop that Act 3 sooner rather than later because people are starting to get real uninterested in and with the celebrities they love so much with all the ish happening in the world right now. Well, could that be part of the reason why she said she's going to be working on Christmas Day, performing at that Super Bowl on Netflix? It's not a Super Bowl. Y'all know what I mean. That game on Netflix, that football game on Netflix. Don't be surprised if she drops a visual this week. Okay. Hamilton says Beyonce had Jay-Z on a tight leash, and thank goodness. I mean, some people might say the opposite. So, people have said that Jay-Z's her handler. Some people have said that. I'm just giving you both sides of the situation. I'm not saying I believe that, but just saying. Kel says this was definitely a read, right? I have to say it was an effective statement. It definitely was an effective statement. Najima says, bet Jay-Z wish he was back in the Marcy Projects now. I don't know if he wishes for that, to be honest with you. All right. All right. Let me see the last couple of questions, guys. If you have a last couple of questions, be sure to let me know. We're giving you breaking news live from London. We heard this breaking news that a lawsuit that was filed back in October from Tony Busby, an attorney representing over 100 and something victims of Diddy, allegedly. He has refiled this lawsuit from October where he claims that Diddy and, at the time, an unnamed celebrity harmed a 13-year-old girl while a female celebrity watched. Well, in this refiling, he now has added Sean Carter, a.k.a. Jay-Z, as the perpetrator, as one of the perpetrators. Jay-Z subsequently did not wait and released his own statement in regards to, and he has, I'm going to say he's denying based off of the statement, and he's claiming that he's going to handle Tony Busby. I'm assuming in a legal way. K-Baby said, who wants to go back to the projects after becoming rich? That's what I'm wondering. Anisha says he definitely don't wish that. Thank you, Foxy. Shout out to our mods. With their notifications stay on, because I know it's late where you are, Foxy, because it's late where I am. All right? Anything else, guys, before I go? I've been live for 40-something minutes. Shout out to the replay crew. It's quite late here. I've been talking all day, and I had a live show here in London. But this is why, for those that ask, how have you built what you've built? Every once in a while, you got to, after dinner, come here and report on breaking news. It doesn't happen all the time, thankfully. But every once in a while, you have to report on breaking news. Guys, as always, replay crew, be sure to let me know your thoughts on this breaking news that Jay-Z is responding to this lawsuit that was refiled, naming him as one of the people that were involved with Diddy harming a 13-year-old girl. It will be interesting. I don't think this is over in regards to Jay-Z's portion of this. I wouldn't be surprised if we hear this week Jay-Z files his own legal action against Tony Busby. Guys, we're almost at 1,000 likes. I will get off of here once we get to 1,000 likes. Liking the video is easy and free. I'm sure the 8 people that disliked this video are the same ones that are on TikTok saying hashtag free Diddy. And I'm sure one of those may have been, never mind. Angelique says, I'm going to go read the initial lawsuit. Something's not adding up. The initial lawsuit was filed back in October, and it was filed here. Well, not here. I'm in New York, You're welcome, Antoinette. Antoinette says, thanks, Kempire, for the update. You're the best. And don't forget, guys, if you are looking for my Diddy updates, sometimes you have to come to my page. I keep doing the Diddy updates. I don't care if 2 people see it, because I know a lot of you rely on the Diddy updates since we've been covering Diddy and the lawsuit from Cassie and subsequently the arrest. So be sure to check out all of those Diddy updates. I've been updating you guys on everything and some Wendy Williams stuff as well. All right. But we did post a new update this week. Mr. Mellon Magic says, Jay-Z better get his lawyers together and Beyonce better buckle up for how people will blame her. I don't know why they would blame her. Joey says, the victims are allowed to get civil justice and criminal justice, so Jay-Z shouldn't wish for everyone who says he's involved to openly sue him and also press criminal charges. Hold on. Hey, Janelle. Janelle says, do you think this will start an onslaught of lawsuits against Jay-Z? Based on what we've seen, I wouldn't be surprised, but will they have hard evidence? We shall see. I do think once the can of worms opens up, people have been saying Jay-Z's names ever since Diddy has been getting all of this attention. People have been waiting for the other shoe to drop, meaning Jay-Z. So this is why this is such a hot button topic right now. Hold on. Someone asked how the London show was. Amazing. I always love meeting you guys, but London, you guys topped it. You guys showed so much love. Shout out to everyone that's come to the Kempire After Dark live experience where we talk really explicitly. Right, London? It's like, you guys are clutching your pearls. They're like, I never heard Kempire speak like this. Because that's what Kempire After Dark is. I don't want it to be what you get here. It's completely different, right? For those that attended, let us know. All right. Thank you so much for 1,000 likes, guys. We're already almost at 1,200. Can we get to 1,200? Raleigh Cat says, and another thing, Diddy sitting there knowing he was not the only one. Narcissist has no loyalty, period. He is even ready to throw his sons in the mist. I did see that Christian Combs is facing his own lawsuit as well with similar accusations. All right. Foxy says, please get some sleep soon. I am going to sleep in. Grace Report is here in London with me. So we're going to go do some food stuff tomorrow, or later today, I should say. So I am going to go get some rest. Hamilton says, I don't think people will blame her, meaning Beyonce. When I first saw Beyonce with Destiny's Child backing up Christina Aguilera, I said Beyonce is going to be a star. Look, I think people will blame Beyonce regardless. There will be always someone. Thank you, Dan. Danny was front row. Love it. And Danny was also part of when we first came here in London and we did our park meetup, our impromptu meetup. And Danny was there for that. So Danny was, again, at our live show. She said the time went by too quickly. It was. Look, I could have talked for another hour, but I knew people had to get home. It's a Sunday. The tubes close at 11 o'clock in certain parts. It would have been hard for people to get home. We had people travel a long ways. Quite a few people traveled a long ways. So I don't take that lightly. Thank you. Mama Ali says, do you think, politics aside, that Diddy and Epstein lists will be released in the new year? They've been saying that the Epstein lists were going to be released for such a long time and we haven't gotten anything. I feel like something's going to come out in regards to Diddy that will be shocking, but I don't think the Epstein stuff is going to come out. They've been saying it for so long and nothing has really come out. Like fake stuff have come out. Thank you, Fabiana. Fabiana says, Kempire, thank you for always keeping us updated and being fabulous. Thank you, Fabiana. Joe says, I bet someone would be throwing rumors about how much Beyonce knows about the alleged Jay-Z stuff. Can't wait for the Beyonce's album about. Not Beyonce's album about. Lord. Adam was there. Hey, Adam. Adam's met me and Grace. I met Adam last time I was here. Him and Freddie. Okay. All right. Diddy's in the chat. This has to be Diddy's or Diddy's kids. Savano says, "Oh, please, no concrete evidence against Diddy. Everyone needs a therapist." I just would like Exhibit A, the CNN video that leaked of him harming Cassie in a hotel hallway. Diddy's not innocent. Diddy then, the next day, came out with a video saying I was in a dark place. So no one's making it up. Okay? No one's making it up. All right? DB, I thought about Salone's prediction, but I don't think Salone predicted that it would be any of this Diddy stuff. I think it might be something completely different. All right? Social Deviant says Jay-Z has a very checkered past when it comes to barely legal women. Google Jay-Z Leah pics. Look, we've talked about it as well. We talked about that as well. Ms. Mel says, this is a troll. No, there are some people that are Diddy supporters, the same way there are some R. Kelly supporters, no matter how many victims come forward. Okay? Well, honestly, the Savannah or whatever the name was, that could be Diddy. Diddy's getting his own little communication to the world any way that he can. It could be Diddy for all we know. Riley Cat says, I do feel bad for the celeb children. Not only is Blue of age to understand what is going on, but I wonder if she will have questions later as to why she was named after her father's ex. Blue. Riley Cat, if you don't get out of here. I never thought about that till you pointed it out. Okay. Anne says that Aaliyah wasn't dating Jay-Z. They weren't. Rumors or fake psychics or... Oh, wait a second. Was the fake psychic comment from Diddy about Sloan? Sloan, he's coming for you, girl. So in Jay-Z's statement in regards to this Tony Busby lawsuit, he says that we protect children. You seem to exploit people for personal gain. He says only your network of conspiracy theorists, Jaguar Wright, he's probably saying, fake he says physics, but I think he means psychics. Fake psychics will believe the idiotic claims you have levied against me. Is that against Sloan? Because you know she got a lot of attention when she came forward with some of her predictions, specifically with Diddy. Do you think that was for Sloan? Damn, Sloan, look. Not her catching strays in the statement. You know she gonna get on her YouTube channel and start cussing. Right? She don't be scared. That's the Leo energy right there. Okay. All right. Oh, Anne says that she herself said several times that was false when asked on a Hot 97 and another show. They never dated. Allegedly, they said that Jay-Z was interested in her, but she ended up with Dame Dash. Okay. Anyway. Oh, Tony Busby has answered. Let me look. Is it on his website? Look, see when we have breaking news? Look, breaking Busby. Here we go. Did he answer on his website? Let me see. Oh, hold on. Is this his statement? Well, he posted this about an hour ago. Let me show you the picture he posted. Let me just see this because, okay, no, I think this is his statement. This is his statement on his Instagram, but let me show you the picture, y'all. Because Jay-Z mentioned that he was a Marine, Tony Busby. So now Tony Busby is posting a picture, I guess, when he was a Marine. Let me just post, let me show you. Oh, this is breaking news, y'all. It's late. Look, it's late. Okay, so Tony Busby posted this photo of himself. Like, breaking news, reworked, breaking news. Just when I was about to get off. I'm glad I didn't. So let me read what he says, okay? Oh, wait, did he make a statement to TMZ too? Let me just double check my sources. This is what I normally do behind the scenes, but we have a breaking news. Okay, so let me just say this. There's a couple of updates in regards to this story. So we have an update from Diddy's lawyers. So they spoke to TMZ and they said this amended complaint in the recent extortion lawsuit against Mr. Buzbee exposes his barrage of lawsuits against Mr. Combs for what they are. Shameless publicity stunts designed to extract payments from celebrities who fear having lies spread about them, just as lies have been spread about Mr. Combs. As his legal team has said before, Mr. Combs has full confidence in the facts and the integrity of the judicial process. In court, the truth will prevail that Mr. Combs never SA'd or trafficked anyone, man or woman, adult or minor. So Tony Busby, who filed the suit on behalf of Jane Doe, tells TMZ Mr. Carter previously denied being the one who sued me and my firm. He even filed his frivolous case under a pseudonym. Also, so he's saying that Jay-Z's the high-profile celebrity that tried to sue him. So he's confirming that. So this is Tony Busby's statement to TMZ. He says, Mr. Carter previously denied being the one who sued me and my firm. He even filed this frivolous case under a pseudonym. What he fails to say in his recent statement is that my firm sent his lawyer a demand letter on behalf of an alleged victim and that the victim never demanded a penny from him. Instead, she only sought a confidential mediation. Since I sent the letter on her behalf, Mr. Carter has not only sued me, but he has tried to bully and harass me and this plaintiff. His conduct has had the opposite impact. She's emboldened. I'm very proud of her resolve. Important. So Tony Busby, in his response, is saying that the victim was not seeking a penny from Jay-Z. Instead, she only sought a confidential mediation. So what would be the result of the mediation? What would be the result? A public statement? Apologizing? Or money? I'm not an attorney, but I'm assuming money. Okay, maybe that was the writing on the wall. But let me go to Tony Busby's Instagram account. So on Tony Busby's Instagram account, he posted this photo of him in the Marines because in Jay-Z's statement, he mentions that Tony Busby was a Marine. Let me find that in the statement. Hold on, y'all. This is live, so bear with me. He mentions that Tony Busby is a Marine. Hold on, let me find it. Oh, here we go. He says, "You claim to be a Marine? Marines are known for their valor. You have neither honor nor dignity." So on Tony Busby's Instagram account, which he posted like an hour ago, he says, "Recognize this guy? This is a picture of the Weapons Platoon Commander, Alpha Company, 1st Battalion, 4th Marines from our old Western Pacific cruise book. Despite a coordinated and aggressive effort that has included harassing my kids, contacting my clients and former clients to encourage them to sue me, contacting my colleagues or former employees asking if I've abused them, showing up at my current employees' homes to harass them, filing frivolous cases against me and my law firm, defaming me with outrageous assertions to anyone who will listen, and having mysterious people follow me and my family, I'm still that guy." Remember, I said, what does Jay-Z mean? Because I said that there was an undertone of, I'm going to react to this lawsuit and what you've been trying to do. So is Tony Busby saying that these are the things that Jay-Z allegedly has been doing? He says, "I won't be bullied or intimidated. People will see through this effort to discredit me and my clients, and the truth will be revealed. I also won't allow anyone to scare my clients into silence." He says, "Sunlight is the best disinfectant, and I'm quite certain the sun is coming." Oh, well, that was that was a good response, y'all. Wasn't that a good response? Look, I'm willing to give credit when credit's due. Oh, look, I'm giving you the full picture. So shout out to those of you that stayed long enough for the update. Because that is Busby's response. He did issue a statement. This was him when he was a Marine, because he brings up the fact that Jay-Z mentioned in Jay-Z's statement that you're a Marine. He's saying that you have no respect or valor. And now he's saying that Jay-Z is the high profile celebrity. Remember, we talked about it. Some of you thought it was Kevin Hart. So Tony Busby is saying that he believes that it was Jay-Z that filed this lawsuit, accusing him of extortion. Okay. Okay. Look, Vodka says, good response. Solid. I look both. Okay. Oh, Mama Ellie says, don't call a Marine's valor in question ever. Okay. Hayes says, Jay-Z has FBI federal help, and well, look. I did see that Shannon says that Busby has his own essay case. What was the essay case? I can't remember his essay, but a case against himself right now. We did talk a little bit about that as well. All right. Rock says, where's Cat Williams? Isn't he supposed to be doing like a follow-up interview with Club Shay Shay? I feel like they should do it in January at the top of the year to let us know what 2025 is going to look like. Hay says Sloan Bella said it. Sloan Bella got shots fired in Jay-Z's statement. Okay. Yeah. Beautiful Bull says, hopefully nobody drops a diss track. You know what? Don't even give them any ideas. All right. Roberta, we just read his response. Tony Busby issued a statement to TMZ, and then he also posted on his own Instagram, subsequently not saying Jay-Z's name, but subsequently responding to Jay-Z, questioning his valor as a Marine. Okay. Yes, Tamaya says, is Cat Williams doing a follow-up with Uncle? That's what I heard. Okay. Mr. Melvin Magic says, leave Cat and Jaguar in the past to get away from me with this apology. Come on. Ooh, AB says, Cat Williams is the oracle of truth. Just say it. All right, y'all. On that note, it's 2 a.m. here in London, but I had breaking news. I did my live show here in London. Massive success. I can't believe that many of you came out on a cold, rainy Sunday night. I appreciate that so much. DC, you're up next, January 24th. New York, we'll be announcing the date very soon, but February. We'll be doing a live show where we will talk about The Diddler, where we'll talk about Housewives. We'll be talking a lot. Get your tickets today for DC. Ticket information will be available in the description. And for those that missed the London show, I hope to come back. Look, I said it last year when I was here. I want to come back and do a show. We did it. I want to come back and do the O2 Arena. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you all being here. I hope you guys have a great night. I need to go rest my voice. I hope you guys have a fantastic evening despite all this news that we had. But Replay crew, don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to let me know your thoughts on the breaking news. You need to watch the full video because we have breaking news literally at the end. We have breaking news. All right. Tanya says, I'll see you in the DMV. Yes. All right. Let me see. Thank you so much, Hamilton. Thank you. Foxy says, I think Jack could be right about the Carters. You mean the nasty little couple that does nasty little things? All right. Maxine says, Jay-Z's dumb A didn't write that. Beyonce and Tina wrote. Come on. Y'all are a mess. AYM says, more is coming. Rest up. Yeah, I definitely need to rest. Yes, Gwen. 2 a.m. while Kempire is the real GOAT. Trying. So for those that are watching the replay, give me a like for just this breaking news, okay? Shout out to 3,000 of you that were here. We appreciate you. Don't forget to like the video. And don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to listen to the podcast version of our live recaps. I might do a podcast. I will aim for this week, talking about my London experience and so much more. So subscribe to the podcast and you can get Diddy updates there as well. I'm going to do the audio version on our podcast as well. So subscribe and don't forget to give us a 5-star rating. Everyone, have a fantastic night. What time is it on the East Coast? I don't remember at this particular point. I don't even remember. Yeah. Simply Cena says, he was definitely talking about Sloan. By the way, I know I'm late. No, Simply. It's all right. I know. All right, everyone. Have a fantastic night. I will see you all. Like, I'm tired. Look, the voice is tired. I've been talking a lot today. Let me go rest up. Have a good night, y'all. Bye. Thanks for tuning into the Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network. As always, don't forget to give the Kempire podcast a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And as always, for more information on Kempire, social media, and other things Kempire, check out the description for more details.